正解。
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage, Chapter 156, Marriage. After a few days of snow in the Ding capital, the weather finally cleared up. Shen Miao was in the courtyard airing some books. They were all the military books that Shen Qiu brought over, and one feared that mold would grow after being placed in the room for a long period of time. Thus they were being exposed to the sun. Jings and Gu Yu were sun-drying the beddings as Jings spoke. One heard that the Chen and Shen family's lawsuit is very lively and many people are watching it. Now that it has dragged on for so long, one does not know what the final result would be. What other result can there be? It is strenuous and unrewarding for both sides. Gu Yu said in disdain. To bring matters of the family up in court is a ridicule. Fortunately Master and Furen had separated earlier on from them, else one fears that it would be them implicated in it. Chen Rikayu's maiden family and the Shen family were fighting in a lawsuit. The Chen master was an old man that was very stubborn and one who cared about his face a lot, hence he was unwilling to lose. He would contend to get out of the predicament and would not let himself be the losing side. Only when ghost filled the air could the spiritual master come in. Even though Chen Rikyu was married, Chen master had to protect Chen Rikyu's reputation, not because he doted on her, but because he would not allow the Shen family to belittle the Chen family like this. Chen Rikyu's mother however was a powerful one. As she doted on Chen Rikyu, she convinced the Chen master with a few words, and wanted to fight with the Shen family in a lawsuit. The Chen family believed that Chen Rikyu was conscientious after marrying into the Shen family, and helped Shen Wan to manage the family. She even brought in a concubine for Shen Wan but he himself declined. Chen Rikyu had married into the Shen residence for so many years and everyone outside knew that she was educated, reasonable, gentle and graceful. Now with a sudden appearance of a female of dubious background, Shen Wan then wanted to divorce his wife. This was just spoiling the concubine too much and neglecting one's wife. The Shen family's theory was that even though Chen Rikyu was the matriarch of the family, she was unable to give birth to sons and did not think of bringing in a few concubines to spread out the branches. Now that the husband had brought someone in, she still blocked it. She was really very jealous. One said the mother-in-law was merciless. The other said that the daughter-in-law was not filial. This was just a huge stage of farce that made everyone in the Ding capital watch in relish. In the end, the lawsuit was brought to the government offices, but they rarely handled such types of lawsuits. Moreover, this lawsuit was not a big deal, but the master of the Chen family was a document official of the administrative division and Shen Wan's rank was not low either, thus one could not offend either side and the matter could only be dragged on. For Shen Wan and Chen Rikyu to be in court, the husband and wife relationship could be regarded as having ended. First it was because Shen Wan was after all an official and to be in a lawsuit due to family matters, those censors who did not have much to do would definitely not let it off. Thus Shen Wan's career would be affected by this. Second was because Chang Zaiqin was currently pregnant. It was timely that Chang Zaiqin was pregnant at this time, because for her to be pregnant at this juncture, it was as good as pushing Chen Rikyu out. Even though Shen Wan had been affectionate with Chen Rikyu for so many years, it did not mean that he really did not have expectations for a son. If Chang Zaiqin was really carrying a son then he would have an heir to carry down the ancestral line. Because of that whenever he would see Chang Zaiqin, he would feel that it was good, and did not even take a look at the thrown away rotten cloth. Shen Miao smiled gently. Better not forget to bribe the Darans with money. Gu Yu complied but was somewhat in doubt as she asked, does young lady want to help third master or third Furen? The money is used for which side? Shen Miao let Gu Yu bring money to bribe the people in the government offices, but she did not know who the money was for, as Shen Miao did not let her read the letter. Gu Yu said softly, it is better to not be mixed in this matter. There is not a good person in that family. Although her voice was soft, it was heard by Shen Miao. Shen Miao then said, neither side is. The case of lawsuit was something that burned money the most. When the poor pursued a lawsuit, it would be judged very quickly as they had nothing. But if one had a little family fortune, then one can last for a few more days. The people in the government offices would need to fish money out, so the longer the lawsuit was, the more the government offices could fish. When Shen Miao was in the palace in the last lifetime, she had seen Fu Ziyi dealing with an official. That official was previously Prince Shu's people, so when Fu Ziyi wanted to deal with him, he could not openly do it. Thus he schemed for that official to be embroiled in a lawsuit, which caused him to become bankrupt. The places that required the most amount of money were the government offices and medical halls. With regards to the Shen and Chen families, Shen Miao only needed to think about how both Xin Wan and Chen Rikayu poured in all their energy and framed the eldest household of the Shen family. Thus she became very eager to shred these two pretentious people. Was this not the same as slipping down from heavens, when the originally gentle and refined husband and wife now wanted to oppose one another in court? Moreover, Shen Miao forked out some money herself to remind the people in the government to drag the case much longer, not to make one bankrupt, but let both the Shen and Chen families be greatly undermined. Moreover, Shen Wan and Chen Rikayu were two people who wanted face, so this time it would be impossible for both of them to reconcile. There was nothing more satisfying than this. Shen Miao's gaze gradually became cold. She had not expected that Chang Zai-King would be pregnant this time. Thinking of the role Chang Zai-King played in Lu Zuyan's death, Shen Miao could not help but sneer. She said, "Call Mo King over, let him go and find some people to receive someone in the Liu province." There was not only Chang Zai-King in Liu province, naturally there was still Chang Zai-King's husband and son there. In the previous lifetime, Chang Zai-King destroyed Lu Zuyan and lived a number of days with no worries of food and clothes before her background torn off. But now she would be the one tearing it off this background. Inevitably one had to make some jokes of the farce in the third household. When Shen Miao was thinking about the third household, Shen Wan was in the residence of Prince Ting. In the turmoil of the fight between the princes for the heir apparent, Shen Wan was a smart person and did not pick his position. The crown prince was legitimate but was sickly and weak. Prince Zhu had his consort mother's favor but was rampant in his actions. And then there was Prince Li, who had a network of relations but was unable to gain Emperor Wen Hua's favor. It was only Prince Ting's clique that looked like he was uninterested with the imperial throne. However, Shen Wan had the intuition that Fu Ziyi was not as uninterested with the imperial throne as he appeared to be, and this made Shen Wan concerned instead. But now that the Shen residents had fallen into misfortune continuously after Xin Zin's return, even Shen Wan felt there was some calamitous air. His career path looked more difficult and one feared that no one wanted him among the other princes. At such a time, he thought about Fu Ziyi. In the early years where Xin Zin had not separated from the family, Fu Ziyi treated Shen Wan rather well, and his words, be it hidden or not, would have the intention of drawing him over. Xin Wan of course understood that Fu Ziyi was targeting Shen Zin's military power, but at that time he had a selection of choices and thus had put it off. Afterwards Fu Ziyi understood his intentions and was no longer that enthusiastic. Now that the Shen family had fallen and was no longer like before, if Xin Wan still wanted to protect his career and flourish on, in addition, Chang Zai-King might be able to give birth to a son for him. Xin Wan's previous thoughts had become an intention to try it out. Riches and honor came with risk, and the greatest wealth would come with the greatest risk. However, he still wanted to try. Thus Shen Wan finally went to the residence of Prince Ting. He had finally made his choice. Shen Wan felt that it was somewhat funny. If he had made this choice a little earlier, perhaps Shen Yu would not have needed to marry to the Wang family, and there would have been no need to exchange marriages or running away from home. Shen Yu could even win over Fu Ziyi's heart. But if Shen Yu did not exchange her marriage, perhaps he and Chen Rikayu would not have come to this stage and Chang Zai-King would not be pregnant. Thus he would not seek out Prince Ting. The events of the world arise from many causes, and fate was fond of making fun of people. Fu Ziyi sat on the main position and instructed people to pour tea for Shen Wan. There was no need of courtesy words as one knew the main purpose of this visit. Fu Ziyi smiled mildly. Shen Darren is busy with domestic affairs of the family. So what is with the sudden visit? Xin Wan was at a loss. Currently Chen Rikayu and his matter was such a ruckus that the entire court knew about it. His colleagues looked at him with an expression of watching a joke. And this was a painful torment for Shen Wan, who cared for his image a lot. Xin Wan said, "This official is willing to serve your highness wholeheartedly." When Fu Ziyi heard this, he only smiled but did not continue the topic. One was not sure if he had believed Xin Wan's words or not. There were only the two of them and some servants in the hall, and as such a silence gradually strained the atmosphere, and beads of cold sweat started forming on Shen Wan's forehead. One did not know how long the silence went on until, and Shen Wan felt that his entire body was soaked with sweat. Then he heard Fu Ziyi's voice, "But now Shen Zin has moved away from the residence. So what can you do?" Xin Wan's heart thumped. Fu Ziyi was indeed targeting Shen Zin. Initially, when the second household had not declined, Shen Wan had guessed that Shen Yuan was helping Fu Ziyi on secret matters. But what could Fu Ziyi let Shen Yuan do? Fu Ziyi had recruited Shen Yuan when he was young, and it was inadequate for it to be only talent. Afterwards Shen Wan had thought it out. It is most likely because it was convenient for Shen Yuan to monitor Shen Zin, or it was to do some tricks in Shen Zin's official matters. But afterwards Shen Yuan died and Fu Ziyi was short of someone like Shen Yuan. Much afterwards, Shen Zin simply went to the Zhaochun city and this person was not needed. Who knew that 2 years later Shen Zin would return to the capital with more power, and he definitely became a thorn in Fu Ziyi's eyes. Xin Wan said cautiously, "Even though the residences are different, after all we are still brothers. If your highness has instructions, this official will definitely do one's best." "Good." Fu Ziyi said, "This prince appreciates people of talent and also believes in Darren's abilities. Lately there is just this one matter. Since Shen Darren coincidentally met with me today, then one would not bother others, and as this matter is all about one's family, thus one believe that Shen Darren will do it well." Xin Wan felt somewhat uneasy. Fu Ziyi's words clearly meant that he would be giving him a difficult problem, and if it was done well, naturally he would be Fu Ziyi's people, but if he could not do well, he would not be able to prove that he was a person of talent, and would be ruthlessly abandoned by Fu Ziyi, and all the consequences that this difficult problem would have. Xin Wan must bear all of it. This was a transaction. Xin Wan's heart dropped. "May your highness instruct." Fu Ziyi looked at him satisfied. "The matter is not difficult. This prince knows that General Shen has a daughter, 5th Shen young lady, that he loves like precious jewels. Currently the 5th Shen young lady should have reached the age of marriage." Xin Wan violently raised his head up. Initially when Shen Miao was chasing Fu Ziyi and indicated that she wanted to marry him, he did not even look at Shen Miao seriously. Occasionally when the other princes or officials brought it out, he would have an annoyed look on. After all, it was a rather shameful matter for a prince to be admired by such a fool and idiot. But now, Xin Wan's heart started thumping. Shen Miao had grown pretty and her temperament had gradually become calmer, losing the previous appearance of an idiot, becoming one of the ideal noble young ladies in the Ding capital. If Fu Ziyi were to have the intention to marry Shen Miao, with the current ill relations between the eldest and third household of the Shen family, once Shen Miao had power, she would definitely suppress him. Be it official or private matters, the better Shen Miao was, and the better the eldest household of the Shen family was, the more in danger Shen Wan would be. He did not want Shen Miao to go higher, and hoped that Shen Miao would sink as low as dust. Xin Wan suppressed those harsh thoughts and said, "Your Highness, want to marry 5th lady?" Xin Wan suppressed the harsh thoughts and said, "Your Highness, want to marry 5th lady?" "This prince?" Fu Ziyi laughed as if he had heard a funny joke. He shook his head and said, "Not this prince, it is this prince's older brother." Xin Wan was startled. Fu Ziyi's voice slowly drifted to his ears. "Let the 5th Shen young lady marry this prince's 4th older brother, Prince Shu." Xin Wan was shocked incessantly, but after thinking immediately, he suddenly felt a slight chill in his heart. Who was Shen Miao? She was the daughter of Shen Xin, Southern Zi, Northern Shen. The Zi family had truly declined and the Shen family was the biggest in Mingqi. Whoever married Shen Miao would have the greatest military power in Mingqi. Shen Miao's identity had made her destined to be unable to marry to influence and power, as this would cause Emperor Wenhua to become more suspicious. It would be best for Shen Miao to marry to one who do not hold any government post or is incompetent, but definitely not a military official. Most likely because of such things, Shen Miao had not settled her engagement even at a marriageable age, and if she were to really marry a male without any government post, Shen Xin would definitely feel that he had wronged his daughter. The nobles were like this and the princes dared not even think about taking advantage of Shen Miao. It was still alright for the crown prince since it was orthodox, but if other princes wanted to marry Shen Miao, it was almost like directly flaunting their ambition to be the heir apparent. This kind of weight looked like a blessing, but was actually a curse. Currently in the fight for the heir apparent, the wind was blowing in the direction of Prince Zhu. Prince Zhu's and Prince Jing's consort mother was favored and also had some abilities herself. Seeing that their forces were getting bigger, followers started to increase a lot. If they were to be related to Shen Miao, then Prince Zhu would be pushed to where the wind and waves were the fiercest, and Emperor Wenhua would be displeased while the rest of the princes would be infuriated with jealousy, thus Prince Zhu would be suppressed. As for the Shen family, one need not continue to stand as a team so openly. One feared that once the people of the Qin country and the Great Liang left, the Shen family would die miserably. Killing two birds with one stone, it would be the point of perfection. Xin Wan's heart suddenly became timid towards Fu Ziyu. This person's thoughts were too deep and vicious that it was rather scary. Fu Ziyu seemed to have not seen Shen Wan's expression and smiled gently. This matter will be handled over to Shen Darren. Unexpectedly, he did not mention how to do it or to what extent. Prince Zhu already had a consort and if Shen Miao were to marry over, she could only be a side consort. There was no bottom in Xin Wan's heart at all, but he could not portray that, thus he cupped his hands towards Fu Ziyu. This official will do one's best. Afterwards the two persons said some mutually courteous words. Fu Ziyu's attitude towards Xin Wan was not warm and yet not cold. If it was 2 years ago, Fu Ziyu would most probably have treated Xin Wan better, but the past and present could not be compared. The Shen family was not like how they were in the past, and Shen Wan was just a civil official. Thus Fu Ziyu naturally did not need to value him as before. After Shen Wan left the residence of Prince Ting, Pei Lang then walked out from behind the screen. Pei Lang walked over to a position lower than Fu Ziyu and looked at the teacup that Shen Wan drank from before and had left behind. Your Highness is planning to use Shen Wan? Fu Ziyu looked towards Pei Lang. What does gentleman thinks about Shen Wan? Pei Lang shook his head. Even though he can endure silently and has the means, but he is lacking in strength and had a messy household. If he were to be used, then one fears that there would inevitably be trouble in the future. It is alright to use for minor thing but not major stuff. Fu Ziyu smiled and looked at Pei Lang with eyes of admiration. Gentleman's thinking is the same as me. He then sighed before saying, ever since the Zi brothers died, there are a few things that one cannot instruct the people beside me to do. Keeping the Zi brothers was a good chess piece that is now completely destroyed. Even though it was not an important piece, it could have saved me a lot of trouble. Pei Lang frowned. Your Highness does not plan to use Shen Wan? Grass on top of the wall that sways with the wind. Fu Ziyu's laugh was a bit empty. Previously, kept wavering, and now due to the current situation one is forced to defect to me. I do not dare to use such indecisive people. One only want to use him to handle small matters. Pei Lang added, does your Highness think it is feasible to let Shen Wan think of ways to matchmake the fourth prince and Shen Miao? One do not know if it is feasible. It is just that this matter is Shen Wan's only opportunity. Thus he would facilitate it at all costs. The Shen family has invaluable achievements, and Prince Zhu is powerful and it has reached the point where it is enough. If one does not take action now, one fears that it will really be too late. Pei Lang no longer spoke. However, Fu Ziyu suddenly asked, "If I were to marry Shen Miao, what does gentleman think?" Pei Lang's heart jumped, but on the surface he still had a light expression on his face as he said analytically, "One fears that it would not be good as it would attract the emperor's suspicion and jealousy from the other princes." Fu Ziyu nodded his head and he had some regret in his expression. One was unable to tell the tone of voice when he said, "It is a pity." Pei Lang did not understand what pity Fu Ziyu was referring to. With regards to emotions, Fu Ziyu had never had other feelings for Shen Miao. If there were any feelings, then in the beginning when Shen Miao was chasing him all over the Ding capital, he would not have been so cold. If at that time Fu Ziyu had half an intention to protect Shen Miao, the rumors would not have been that unrestrained. Then what was Fu Ziyu feeling pity about? That the Shen family's military power did not fall into his hands? Pei Lang did not know what the answer was. After Fu Ziyu left, he also returned to his room and seeing that there was no one around, he started to write a letter. Tonight it was rather somber and desolate in the residence of Prince Ruai. The servants all had a solemn expression and dared not even breathe loudly. Today when His Highness Prince Ruai returned, he had an extremely cold expression. Zhao Yang and Ji Yushu who were following beside him were in a rarely seen solemn expression too, and Tai and Nanqi brought a person dressed like a guard back, and went into the room with Prince Ruai. Even if it was a personal study room, it was renovated to be spacious and with the splendorous and majestic furnishing. It did not look like a study room but had some feeling of a palace. Only one person was sitting down and was currently playing with the thumb ring on his hand. He was wearing a dark purple lined with gold embroidered robes, and the clothes slowly plastered themselves to the large chair, as if it was a purple cloud flowing down from the skies. The person kneeling on the floor was leaning over and could only see the boots in front of him. The green-black deer hide boots had straight running seams, which were so fine that the hide did not move at all, were only boots, but it seemed to provide a glimpse of the magnanimity and nobility of this master. Zi Jingxing had one leg on the soft couch, as he leant against the seat and looked down towards the prisoner. His brows were unbelievably handsome and when he smiled gently, the romantic feelings overflowed, that even the gardens at springtime would not be able to compete, but when his face was cold, it made others have feelings of chills. Those beautiful peach blossoms' eyes were like the water in spring, that instantly became the icy spring on the top of the mountain. He spoke blandly and one was unable to hear joy or anger in his voice. "Speak, who is your master?" That person clenched his teeth and did not speak. Zhao Yang and Ji Yushu frowned. Zi Jingxing smiled lazily. "It is all right if you do not speak. Throw him into the tower prison." He suddenly stooped down and approached the guard and said in a low voice, "Anyway, I know who is it." That guard's expression did not change. There were a number of bruises on his body. Seemingly he had endured a good amount of torture before. Zi Jingxing smiled gently but that smile did not reach his eyes. "Retrieve his order token." Ji Yushu and Zhao Yang were startled at the same time, and could not help but look at that guard. The guard was startled and a trace of struggle appeared on his face. The words order token meant that Zi Jingxing apparently knew his identity. Who knew that Prince Ruai of Great Liang would be this ruthless and unbridled? That tower prison was said to be an even more daunting place, thus his heart was trembling. The guard simply knelt down and kowtowed to Zi Jingxing a few times. "May your highness show mercy." Zi Jingxing swept his eyes across the other person and sneered, "The people that imperial older brother sends over are of such conduct." His words had hidden sarcasm. One thought that the bones will be thicker. Not interesting. Ji Yushu could not help but say, "What does His Majesty want you to do to 5th Shen young lady?" This person was caught at the Shen Mansion stores. This was all thanks to the people that Zi Jingxing sent to keep watch on the Shen Mansion to avoid accidents from happening. This person's martial arts skills were high, and had a high sense of alertness that Zi Jingxing's people had taken several days before they could catch him. Now thinking about it, it was no longer strange. After all, he was Emperor Yongli's secret agent. If one did not have this level of ability, then the imperial family of Great Liang would be in jeopardy. That guard wanted to say something, but upon meeting Xi Jingxing's half-smiling gaze, he could not help but feel chills running down his back. One had to know that in the entire imperial family of the Liang dynasty, this person, who always had an indifferent smile, indolent and handsome Prince Ruai, was the one that could not be provoked. 2 years ago, when he returned to Great Liang, there were a number of undercurrent forces that were moving, but were settled by Xi Jingxing individually. Those high-ranking officials that went against him were all eradicated so thoroughly that even a stalk was not left behind. His means were vicious, his schemes ran deep, and no one was able to have any leverage when he took action. Other than handling the fighting in court, he also did a number of tasks beautifully, and made those old guarding officials speechless. This made one both love and hate him. Now that he was under the sharp gaze, the guard did not dare to conceal any more and blurted everything out. His Majesty knows about the matter of 5th Shen young lady, and feared that your highness has remained in Mingqi because of 5th Shen young lady, thus instructed this subordinate to investigate. In no way did he want this subordinate to harm 5th Shen young lady. It is all investigation. Without aligning with one another, Zhao Yang's and Ji Yushu's facial expression were somewhat bad. Even though Emperor Yongle was situated in Great Liang, he still had many informants in Mingqi's Ding capital. It was not possible to say what would happen after discovering Shen Miao and Xi Jingxing's relationship, but with Emperor Yongle's character, he would never allow things to happen outside of his plans. Shen Miao was after all Mingqi's people, and this identity would bring along a lot of variables. From Ji Yushu's and Zhao Yang's view, it was unlikely that Emperor Yongle would agree with Xi Jingxing's thoughts. The thing that made everyone have a headache was that these two brothers were both equally stubborn, and would never change anything that they set their mind to. Even if Emperor Yongle obstructs, how would Xi Jingxing submit obediently? In addition, compared to Emperor Yongle, Xi Jingxing had encountered numerous assassination attempts since he was in Mingqi for so many years, and his temperament was even more unreasonable and unyielding. If the brothers really started to fight, one feared that there would be foul winds, bloody rain, nightfall during the day, and the earth darken. Sure enough, when Xi Jingxing heard this, he then laughed. Oh, since it is only to investigate for information, then there is no need to be locked in the tower prison. I'll send you back to Great Liang. The guard was slightly stunned, and before he could speak, he heard Xi Jingxing's voice coming from above. Do you know what to say? The guard hesitated. Prince Ruai and Emperor Yongle were both equally fearful. There was a bit of desperation in his heart as he asked tentatively, there is no relations between your highness and 5th Shen young lady? Xi Jingxing looked at him with interest, and there was some kind of profound meaning in that pair of beautiful eyes as he said slowly, how can imperial older brothers people lie? Zhao Yang tightened his hand around the fan, and Ji Yushu swallowed his saliva. Go back and tell imperial older brother that he did not think incorrectly. This prince stayed behind because of Shen Miao. The youth's lips were smiling softly, but his brows were unyielding as he said, do not have unrealistic thoughts of changing anything, because this prince will not allow it. Yes, remember to remind imperial older brother. He yawned, do not forget the agreement with this prince. The tranquil night concealed everything. It concealed the undercurrents in the residence of Prince Ruai, concealed the schemes and calculations in the residence of Prince Ting, and also covered up the whispers of the Shen residence. Someone had entered the inner chambers from the main hall in Kaiyu Shui Yuan. The original mistress had returned to her maiden family in a fit of anger, and started a lawsuit with her husband's family. With such incompatibility, everyone knew that it was not possible for Chen Rikaiyu to regain her former glory. Moreover, this new Yi Niang was gentle and magnanimous. She also has a child in her womb, and one feared that she would climb to the skies in the future. There were a lot of servants who stepped on the lowly and flattered the lofty, thus they immediately turned their heads to flatter this new mistress. Kang Zai King sat in the room, and touched her stomach with a trace of a gentle smile on her face. Since the western courtyard was too far away and was too desolate on normal days, Old Shen Furan, who had found someone to do a calculation and discovered that it was a son in Kang Zai King's womb, raised Kang Zai King up, and Shen Wan moved her to Kaiyu Shui Yuan to take better care. Kang Zai King had become the new female master in Kaiyu Shui Yuan, and she was also very satisfied with the current situation. Although Chen Rikayu had strong abilities, but she was old and did not have any sons, thus had less of an advantage in this battle. Shen Wan entered the room and placed the tonic in his hands on a table, before walking over to Kang Zai King and touching her abdomen with a smile. "This is good." Kang Zai King smiled back and suddenly said softly, "Does Master have some troublesome matters?" Shen Wan was startled and laughed bitterly. "There is really a troublesome matter.